Hey everybody, it's Shelly with the Iowa Quilt Block, and today we're going to come to you with 5 of the top things that we get called about with people who are new to Bernina or have their new machine, and then one bonus thing. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is wind a bobbin together. So the Bernina hook system, which is in the 4s, 5s, and 7s, and the new machine coming out, have this extra large bobbin. It holds 70% more thread. It has silver sensor on the bottom, black on the other side. And then we highly recommend, because the silver sensor, it's not tough, but it shouldn't bounce around your drawer. It will wear away. And once that silver is worn away, the bobbin will no longer, it will just keep putting off the sensor. So take care of your bobbins. This little bobbin box has the foam insert, which is perfect for storing your bobbins when they're not in use, or we recommend that you put them back in the container you bought them in. All right, silver side down on the bobbin winder. If you try to go the other way, it's not gonna slide down like it should. Don't force it, it's just not right. You shouldn't have to force it, it goes right on. Then we're gonna take the thread, and I like to keep tension on my right hand, and then we're going under the hook, around the tensioner. There are arrows on top of your machine to tell you the direction, but it's clockwise. Then we're going to go around the bobbin. There is a cutter on the bobbin winder, which I love. We're not going to go up through the holes. So there's 4 little holes on the top of your bobbin. Don't put your thread through those holes. Old school, we used to do that with different hook systems. It will set off, even if you try to trim it as close to the bobbin as possible, it will still set off the sensor in your bobbin. It's very annoying. Just, you don't even need to do it. There's little grippies on the bobbin that will grab the thread. Slide the slider over and boom, you're winding. Super easy. Next, we're gonna thread the machine. Something that's super important when you go to thread your machine is to make sure the foot is up. So this machine has built-in dual feed, which is like a built-in walking foot. And so the button is electronic. You just wanna make sure your foot is up. When the foot is up, the tension discs are open, so the thread gets all the way where it should be. When the foot is down, those discs close. So what can happen is you think you've threaded it, and you probably have threaded it correctly, but the tension discs were closed, so the thread barely got into the tension disc. The vibration of sewing will bounce that little thread out, so you'll sew fine for an inch or two, and then it will bird nest with a big jumble of threads on the bottom. I always blamed that on the bobbin. It is not. It is a top tension or top threading problem. So again, I'm keeping tension on my right hand, and then we're going under the hook for step 1. Then we're going down for step 2, around for step 3, and then this is the part you're going straight back, and you're going to feel a click, especially if you have a 5 or a 4 series. Then we're going to make a U and pull to the left. Then we have a guide that opens at the right, and a guide on the needle that opens to, opens to the left. For a minute, I forgot which machine I had in front of me. That is it. Okay, next we're gonna do the needle threader. The Bernina needle threader is a dream. It is smooth and fluid, and it's very easy. I've taught, I bet, well, close to 1,000 people how to use this needle threader, and I have every faith and confidence you can do it too. It's a little bit of a dance, so don't give up if it doesn't work the first couple of times. Just keep dancing. You're going to figure it out, and then you'll be able to do it with your eyes closed, or like me today without my glasses on, which is basically the same as being almost blind. Okay, so first thing we're going to do, if you have a 4 or a 535, you're going to lower your foot. We just want the foot out of the way. We're threaded, we're good to go now. If you have a 570 or up, it's going to automatically move the foot out of your way the minute you pull the needle threader down. So we're going to go down. Now, this is the mechanism for the needle threader. I don't know that you can see it yet, but when you go all the way down, this little plastic piece that's called the presenter tucks away, and it's very hard to get to. So I always tell people go about halfway down, then we're going to wrap clockwise again in front and behind that presenter. Then you can click your left hand all the way down onto the needle. It does have to be securely on the needle. There's a tiny little wire that jabs through the eye of the needle and grabs your thread. Then there is a little slit in the metal if you cannot see the slit, like I cannot see the slit right now, you can just run the thread down the smooth metal of the needle threader and it will fall right into that slit. Then push it to the back and let it go. So let go with your left, then let go with your right, and it is threaded. It is totally threaded. Pull from the back. There's a loop that forms because that wire grabs and pulls. Grab that back loop. If you pull the front loop, you're going to unthread your needle threader and you just get another chance to practice again. All right, next we're going to oil the hook. This kind of freaks people out a little bit because a lot of the current machines on the market have closed oiling systems, meaning they have packed all the oil they expect that machine to need in its short lifetime into an area, and it is sealed. So when that oil runs out, the machine will fail and you'll have to buy a new machine. Berninas are not like that. They have metal components still, and you can tell that when you go to lift them. And then it is still a front loading bobbin system, which I personally love, because when I am quilting or embroidering, or I have a project on under my needle that I don't want to move, I don't want to lose my place, I don't have to, because I don't have to move it to get to the bobbin. We get to the bobbin by this door in the front. Okay, so there is a video, and I'm going to tell you the steps of how to go through to see the video in case you are at home and you want to know. It is super easy. So on the 5 series, it's this little house. On the 7s, it's right down the side. You'll see the gears button. We want to find the gears. So we've got gears. Then we've got this picture of a sewing machine. Then we've got a picture of a wrench. And then there is an oil can. Okay, so it's 4 steps. Then it's going to show you a video of exactly what we're going to do right now, which is take the hook out. Okay, so we're going to oil the hook. There's 3 places in the hook we're going to oil. All 3 are shown in the video. Another way to find the same information on oiling is the book. The book on a Bernina is more than just like a built-in manual. It's actually not a built-in manual. But on here, you can go to troubleshooting, and then there is a lubricating the machine, which has the same video information. Okay, that's just for you to know at home. Now we're going to do it together. Go back to the sewing. All right, so I opened our bobbin door, and I have already taken out the bobbin case. All right, then there is a spring all the way to the left. We're going to hit that and open up the bobbin area. Then you reach in and you just pull the metal hook out. You can see the sucker is metal. All right, it sits in a metal race and it spins every time it makes a stitch, which is 1,100 times a minute for this machine. That's a lot of friction. It does need oil. So I'm going to take our oil pen. This is, every machine comes with oil. It does not come with this pen. We love this pen. It is a needle nose refillable oil pen. So we're going to take that. We're going to put a dot down in the hook. And then inside of this, there are 2 little yellow spots. We just put a drop on each spot. That's it. Super easy. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is put the hook back in. This can get a little tricky, but we have figured out a really fast and easy way to do it, and that's what I'm going to show you. So we've got our bobbin case open, and we've got our hook. We're going to put it upside down with the open part of the hook facing out. Okay? Then I'm going to close the door, and I'm going to hold pressure on it while I turn the hand wheel slowly, and it's going to click into place when it gets in the right spot. Boom. There we go. And then I'm going to keep turning the hand wheel, because if the hook is upside down, and occasionally that happens, the hand wheel will not spin. It will be stuck. Then you just take it apart and do it again. Not a problem. Yeah, that is the fastest, easiest way to get the hook back in there. Now we're going to tell you, this is literally the #1 call we get from new machine owners, and we have all been there. But you get your new machine home, you've spent money on this machine. The last thing you want to do is break it or have anything go wrong with it. At some point, this little doodad can get hit accidentally. Doesn't make any clicky noises when you move it. So your machine is off, that got accidentally moved. Now we're going to power the machine on, and it takes a minute for the Bernina machine the computer to power on. You'll see. Powering on, then it's going to make a series of little noises. We call it the Bernina burp, and that is totally normal. but you'll notice what is not normal in a second. There's the electronic noises. Now, there's a high-pitched whine, and the screen is no longer showing our stitch field. So that will freak you out. Like the first time this happened to me, it freaked me out. But if you ask anyone, I panic first and then I figure it out later. It's just this. It just accidentally got left on, so it's whining. The motor is whining, and also you can adjust the speed that you're filling your bobbin, which is another awesome feature on a Bernina, because like metallic thread, you don't want it necessarily winded at high speed. It can kind of stretch a little bit. Same with monofilament, the clear thread. So you can slow that winding down. That's all that is. All right, I hope that these little tips and hints have been helpful. Go ahead and subscribe to us. Hit the bell, as my little granddaughter would say. Ring the bell so you get our notifications when we do a new video. We're going to start going live on here occasionally, so then that will also notify you when we're live. And there are links to our As Seen on YouTube website page in the, what is it?
Description.
In the description. Someday I will remember that it's the description. I don't know why I blank on that, but anyways, be sure to do something today that makes you super happy. It doesn't even matter what it is. Just make sure you carve out a little bit of time for yourself today. Have a wonderful day. Bye.